Well, good evening and welcome to Macedonia Park here in Berkeley for round 21 of the NPL Women's New South Wales as Illawarra Stingrays face Northern Tigers. Both these teams suffered narrow defeats in their last outings with better goal scoring firmly at front of mind. My name is Tim Gibson. Let's get into the teams. And starting with the Stingrays, Brianna Edwards is the goalkeeper. 3, Alex McKenzie. 4, Poppy Hooks. 7, Chloe Middleton. 8, Siobhan Edwards. 10, Alexia Carastal. 11, Danica Martos. 13, Kayla Austin. 15, Caitlin Cooper. 18 is Sophia Christopherson. And number 20 is Ella Giles. And having a look at the Northern Tigers team, and the goalkeeper, number 91, is Jasmine Black. Number 3 is Greta Kratsula. 5, Savannah Murray. 6, Isabel Gomez. 10, Charlotte Mortlock. 11 is Lily McMahon. 12, Saffron Grass. 16, Olivia Cartwright. 18 is Bo Burton. 23, Misha Anderson. 29 is Rosie Ewan. Referee today is Hayden Mickelmeyer. The Stingrays playing in their pink kit while the Tigers in their black kit. Worth mentioning in the context of this game is see the net to the left of the screen getting a bit of running maintenance, as it was a big win for the Northern Tigers earlier in the year, round 8, 5-1 over the Stingrays, but since then there's been a bit of a fall off in terms of their form, and the Stingrays, after that defeat to the Bulls FC Academy when they last played at Macedonia Park, means they've lost top spot. Can go some way to continuing their hunt for the title if they can pick up a win, but of course that heavy defeat they suffered will still be something they're thinking about. Bit of a shift for the Stingrays in terms of their back line. Alex McKenzie appears to have gone over to left back. Annabella Keeper's on the bench. And we're underway here at Macedonia Park with the need for better goal scoring from both teams, after both suffering scoreless defeats last round. Savannah Murray with the ball over towards Olivia Cartwright. Poppy Hooks is first to it. Come back to Savannah Murray. Falls for Edwards. Christopherson is making a run wide. We'll pick up the ball now. Christopherson for Edwards once more. Gets a good cross in. It'll come all the way out to Kayla Austin. Another new inclusion at the back post, but falls the way of the visitors. Burton inside can find Charlotte Mortlock, but given away for Chloe Middleton, who's come back into the team. Missed the match against the Bulls FC Academy after a superb performance, but here is Sophia Christopherson with a chance. Plays it in, and Carastal gets to it, but that's cleared away. That superb performance for Middleton coming against the Jets. The previous home game was very dominant in midfield, and they certainly missed that physicality against Bulls FC Academy, who have since taken up top spot in this competition following the win over the Stingrays. Middleton, that pass was almost cut out, but Kayla Austin will get to the ball first. That will be a throw-in. Middleton gets a foot in, but Gomez can carry on. Middleton once more for Austin. Caristal, first time down the line towards Edwards, but that's cut out. Caristal inside for Caitlin Cooper, who's under pressure, but can find Poppy Hooks, who's been building back into this team. Mortlock will get towards that, and it's been a decent pace to these opening exchanges. Krasula with a touch there as Tigers look to try and play out under pressure. Giles. Christopherson can't find Middleton with that pass, and the flag will go up. Well, looking at the Northern Tigers, of course, that big win over the Stingrays in round 8, 5-1. Alexia Caristal, who starts today, was sent off in that match late on. But it has been the theme for this Tigers team. The goal scoring they've demonstrated has been the best in the competition going into this weekend. Although most recently those goal scoring ways have faded slightly as we see a free kick go in. Hooks heads it away first time. Still with the Tigers, and they can keep the pressure on here. Christopherson, important intervention, but that's been given away again. And that'll go behind for a corner off Mackenzie. Good work from Lily McMahon to earn the corner, and Bo Burton coming across to whip this one in. Right into the middle. It's a good delivery. Hooks gets ahead to it first, and it's a shot that's palmed over the top by Brianna Edwards. That may have been Charlotte Mortlock with the effort. Good early save from Brianna Edwards in the Stingrays' goal. Ball swung in again. This time comes all the way, and that's sent over the bar, the volley. Tigers still with a bit of pressure. Savannah Murray can take her time with possession. All the way back to Jasmine Black. Only ball from Murray over the top. It's into an awkward area, but Martos deals with it. Middleton gives it back. And a bit of space for Alexia Caristal to take up. Plays it towards Siobhan Edwards, but that ball rather shanked in the end. Ball just about stays in, and the Stingrays will win it back. Middleton for Matos. Here's Giles. Poppy hooks back to Giles. It's a tricky ball to play, and Gomez has cut it out. Gomez for the Northern Tigers. Still with the side. Mortlock has found a pass towards Krasula, and now Grass with a cross in that will be Brianna Edwards' ball. Direct kick from the goalkeeper, but they can't hold on to it there, the Stingrays. It'll fall back to the Northern Tigers, who are getting a bit more of the ball. That's a loose touch, and Kayla Austin was almost onto it. Gomez through midfield. Driven wide, here's Rosie Ewan. Nice ball down the line for Lily McMahon across the box, but Edwards makes a simple gathering of the ball. Middleton's header is not to another Stingrays player. Here's Cartwright. Olivia Cartwright, who grabbed a goal against the Stingrays in that 5-1 smashing earlier in the season. Here's Hooks. Plays a quick pass, and that won't find Matos. Here's Gomez. Bo Burton will keep hold of that to find Krasula. Krasula finds a ball inside. A loose touch from Gomez, and the Stingrays have it back. Giles for Austin, and Austin gets it back off Middleton. That'll be a throw. Gomez, early pass over the top, but Hooks had the head start on McMahon. Edwards under a little bit of pressure, but plays a good pass out to Mackenzie. Mackenzie, Carristal didn't get a touch to it. Now it's back with Savannah Murray, who's very much been the ball player in that defence for the Tigers. Here's Mortlock. Back with Misha Anderson. Now McMahon. Grass forwards. Another turnover from the Stingrays, but once again they get it back. Here's Middleton. Matos plays a first time ball towards Edwards, but it bounces over the striker's head. Anderson will give that back to Jasmine Black. Isabel Gomez. Back with Misha Anderson and Savannah Murray, who's got plenty of space to take up the field. Nice work from Saffron Grass, who can carry on through midfield. Mortlock for Gomez. Middleton in quickly. It'll stay with Gomez. Here's Krazula. Chance for the Tigers down the right. Rosie Ewan, ball in. Giles gets the head to it, but it's come out for a shot that's skewed wide by Olivia Cartwright, although it'll stay in play and will be a goal kick. Well, it's been a good start from the Northern Tigers. They had that chance saved by Brianna Edwards following the set piece and have otherwise held possession quite high up the field. She's perhaps not unexpected given their quality goal scoring, but as I was alluding to earlier, that goal scoring has started to dry up a little bit recently. Well, their defeats in the last 5 games have come where they've scored 1 goal or less, and that or less, the only time they've failed to score this season against the Ravens last time around. So a bit of a lapse in their goal-scoring ways of late, but they'll be confident against the Stingrays team that they put 5 past in the early stages of this season. Carastal battling for it and wins the foul. Be a free kick the way of the home side. You see Carastal, who, as I mentioned, was sent off in round 8 against this side. 2 goals this season, and is responsible for set pieces. A flat ball in there that's cleared away first time. Middleton. Gomez comes away with it. Gomez with a bit of space, and foul goes against the Northern Tigers. Giles to deliver this ball in. Giles a bit more on that one, but too much behind for a goal kick. The Giles, who found herself out of favour in terms of the Stingrays team a few weeks ago, but has been starting a few games recently, and in fact scored a header from a corner against Sydney Olympic back in round 18, so a couple of rounds ago. He's now really playing at centre back. Christopherson is unable to keep that one in. Hooks, that's a little short, and Mackenzie able to deal with that. Taylor Austin earns a start on the right wing today for the Stingrays, and has been featuring fair bit for the under-23s team, but scored a stoppage time winner against the Northern Tigers back in round 24 of last season. So is someone who has provided a difference, and there's certainly no shortage of goals between these teams, or there haven't been recently. The 2024 results, there were 10 goals across the two games, a 3-2 win back in round 11 for the Northern Tigers, and then in round 24 the winner scored by Kayla Austin, 3-2 win for the Stingrays. And of course another 6 goals earlier in the season. A little more lopsided though, the way of today's visitors. Anderson plays that down the line. First time ball, but Brianna Edwards will get onto it. Hooks. Nice footwork to hold on to that. Back with Mackenzie. All the way back to Brianna Edwards, who may be forced to clear this away. It's a short clearance. And it's back with the Tigers. Here's Krasula. Gomez. Pushed wide now, it's with Cartwright. Anderson looking for some movement, and we'll find Cartwright. That's an excellent pass, but and Poppy Hooks is down at the moment. Does get to her feet though. And straight back under pressure here, the Stingrays. Hooks turns away nicely. Middleton. Good pass towards Middleton, but it's just run away from the midfielder. Cartwright wide for Murray. Cartwright. Very much the possession with the away side, who do find themselves in 8th. A little ways away from the finals places, but a chance down the right side. That ball is going to spin behind for a throw-in. So 8th place for the Northern Tigers at the moment on 28 points. And while they are prolific goal scorers, they do tend to have issues at the other end. 34 goals conceded, which is the 5th highest heading into this round. Which means despite their goal scoring ways, their goal difference isn't particularly impressive, or as impressive as you would presume for a side who's so free scoring. As I mentioned, that round 20 game against the Ravens where went down 1-0, the first time they've failed to score in a game in the 2025 NPL Women's New South Wales as Gomez picks that off. Middleton wins it back, but that's another loose pass and the Tigers can come forwards. McMahon has won out. McMahon has a bit of work to do, but Mackenzie's won it back. Down the line towards Siobhan Edwards. Edwards looks to get away from Anderson here. Edwards with a big touch down the line and can keep going here. The striker. Fantastic work, but an excellent tackle from Misha Anderson to stay in that. Here's Cooper. Cooper can keep going here. No advantage the way of, well, an advantage given rather than a free kick for the hosts, which will allow them to keep hold of the ball. Hooks for Giles. Giles plays a ball towards Martos. It's a well-placed pass, but Cartwright gets across. Carastal. Nice for Middleton. Middleton still has it. Middleton has left a challenge in, but Tigers still have the ball. It'll be the free kick though. Well, a little bit of chance for the Stingrays there. After what has been mostly the Northern Tigers ball. Here's a chance and a shot that flies over the bar from the Tigers number 10, Charlotte Mortlock. Well, we're past the midway point of this first half. It's still 0-0, but the Northern Tigers have had most of the ball, most of the chances. As I mentioned earlier, they're not in the best of form at the moment. They've lost 4 out of their last 5. The 3-1 defeat to Bulls FC Academy and the 2-1 loss to Manly. 2-1 defeat to the University of Sydney. As McMahon can grab hold of that. A fortunate ricochet, but it'll stay with the visitors. Wide for Cartwright. Back inside for Mortlock. That ball will almost get through for Gomez. Kayla Austin in strongly for a goal kick. And the side, after those 3 defeats in a row, found their goal-scoring form. The 5-1 win over the MacArthur Rams, who, of course, have been struggling this year after their success last season. And then that most recent defeat against the Ravens, 1-0. Struggling to defend the space in behind in that game against the Ravens, but it was a late goal that they conceded to see the point that they had slip away. Hooks. Free kick the wave, the Stingrays in their defensive half. Bit of a mixed run for the Stingrays in their last 5. A couple of draws, couple of wins before that defeat to the Bulls. Winning that game against the Bulls would have really created some momentum for them. But they really struggled to create chances, conceded from a set piece as well. And just couldn't find an opening to score from, which is, they went 1-0 down. Still though, the 3 defeats they've suffered this season are the lowest in the competition this season so far across the NPL Women's New South Wales, and they're only 2 points behind the Bulls. Those 2 points, of course, they lost to the Bulls in that round 20 game. And despite the fact they do sit second, it's still pretty tight in that battle for the finals. Spirit sit in 6th, and they're only 3 points behind the Stingrays. So results remain important even as we get closer to the conclusion of this season. Stingrays have 2 more games here at Macedonia Park. Sunday the 10th against NSW, and then round 25, the 24th against Apia Leichhardt. Their other 3 away games are MacArthur in round 22, so next weekend, and then they travel to Manly away before the Ravens away on the final game of the season. Cartwright, early ball that Giles deals with. Caristal, phenomenal touch to keep control of that, but has given it away to Gomez. Here's Cartwright. Gomez. Seen plenty of the ball in this game, Gomez, and is starting to play some nice stuff as Mackenzie loses out. McMahon can't get a shot away. Well, rather doesn't. It was blocked. Mackenzie there just sliced the clearance, which fell straight into McMahon's path. Mackenzie under pressure. Nice work though to get past Mortlock, and still going Mackenzie. Ball down the line for Christopherson. Here's Sophia Christopherson. Sound defending there from Rosie Ewan. Cooper wide for Martos. Christopherson still getting back into action, but here's Middleton. Martos, chance to cross for Martos, and that'll be a corner off Savannah Murray. Alexia Caristal will make the trip down the line, retrieving the ball to get this set piece in. Caristal drives it in, and Giles's header goes over. Jasmine Black set to take this goal kick. Interestingly, yet to keep a clean sheet in the NPL Women's this season, although did keep one in the Sapphire Cup over Quakers Hill. And that's from 12 starts. As that's a short pass. Middleton closing in, but Gomez should get onto this. Gomez, well, that was a nervy moment at the back there. Jasmine Black had to get that away hastily with Middleton closing in. As I mentioned, the often entertaining nature of the Northern Tigers play means they do tend to concede chances, which is perhaps contributing to the lack of clean sheets. Incident between Anderson and Siobhan Edwards, who didn't look like she would get to the ball anyways, with Murray firmly favourite to win that race, at least from her position. McMahon. That'll squeeze through for Mortlock as the Tigers get a bit more of the ball. Savannah Murray all the way back to Jasmine Black as Misha Anderson gets it, and it's interesting to note the way they do tend to have a lot of rotations here, and see along the halfway line there's a row of a number of Tigers players all ready to race in behind, but the consequence of that is when you give it up in these areas it can be problematic. But that's a wasteful pass from Carastal with no one making the run for the hosts. Savannah Murray. And for Gomez. Gomez. Balls forwards if she can find someone, and does. Bo Burton stands up across towards the back post. Carastal pokes it away. Edwards not alert to that as the Tigers can continue to press. Here's Gomez, who's been one of the Visitors' best players in this first half, particularly from a playmaking perspective. Saffron Grass won't get to that. Kayla Austin, though, played a heavy touch. Cartwright. Middleton's challenge there, but Cartwright was able to hold on to the ball. Savannah Murray's header has kept the ball in play, and the Tigers can now take it forwards. Given away, Christopherson. Here's Caitlin Cooper. Mackenzie. First time cross from Mackenzie, and Christopherson's header is missed. Middleton. That's an air swing. Middleton battling for that, loses out to Gomez. Gomez driving through the middle of the pitch. Down the line from Rosie Ewan. 5 goals for the right back this year. Although yet to score in the NPL first grade this year. But has demonstrated a capacity to score goals, playing it right back this evening. Another positive inclusion for the Tigers is Nikola Dominkovic, who's returned to the bench after missing last week. That pass could find Gomez and does. Isabel Gomez, been in this Tigers senior team for the last 5 years, still waiting for her first goal of the campaign. That's Austin who will clear that away. Questions over whether it could have been a foul in that corner, but not given. Gomez. Chance for a shot from McMahon, but that was never going to trouble Brianna Edwards. That's skewing well wide of the left post. One player that the Tigers do appear to be missing this evening, Hayley Johnson, who's bagged 20 goals this season. The striker scored against the Stingrays in round 8, but not involved tonight, which when you're struggling for goals is not ideal. Still some good sources of goals for the Tigers, though. Lily McMahon, 6 goals this season, and has looked lively in this match. Bo Burton as well, who had a fantastic goal-scoring year in 2024. 19 goals. 6 for the campaign so far. So they do have some goals in this team. And they've played pretty well in this first half as we edge towards its conclusion. Still 0-0 though. Gomez. Nice feet again from Gomez, but it's given away. A free kick will be awarded. Savannah Murray for Gomez. Gomez across for Misha Anderson. Anderson down the line, but Hooks lets McMahon get to the ball first, and that's bounced up onto the arm of the visitors' attacker. Can the away side find a goal heading into the break? Gomez gets to it first, but Hooks will clear it away. Giles. Here's Martos for Austin. And still in there, and they'll play on here. The Tigers, Gomez once more. That ball almost finding a player forwards, but it's back on halfway with Austin. Caristal, the touch gets away. Approaching added time here at Macedonia Park as Christopherson's given that away. Giles, the clearance is towards Austin, but a miscommunication means, well, it fell back to the Tigers originally, but now the Stingrays have it. Martos. Middleton is allowed to keep hold of that despite allegation of a handball as Siobhan Edwards finds it down the line for Martos. Ball in, and Caitlin Cooper, slight mistiming of that shot, sees it go away, and that will be hacked away by Misha Anderson. Another good spell of play this for the Stingrays, which has been inherently sporadic in this first half. Carristal, good ball towards Christopherson, but just ahead of the attacker as will fight to keep that in, and does so. Rosie Ewan, Christopherson battling for it. Christopherson's one out. Christopherson, who's, well, went to cross that in and went down. And play on with Poppy Hooks. Giles towards Martos. Gets the touch inside. That's nice. Crucial intervention from Savannah Murray. Cooper with Middleton. Spell of possession now for the Stingrays. It'd be a fantastic time to score if they could grab. Well, that one's run out of room for Mackenzie on the far side. I was going to say that would be a good time to score heading into half-time. Savannah Murray gets a touch of the ball. Spots the run of Gomez, but it's headed away. Middleton for Carristal. Carristal almost towards Cooper. And it's play on. Austin. That ball's driven in. Murray wins a header, but here's Middleton once more. Gomez picks a lovely pass through midfield. That's given away. Poppy Hooks will clear that out for a throw. Not too much longer left of this first half. And that is half-time here at Macedonia Park. Still 0-0 between the Stingrays and the Northern Tigers. We'll be back in a little over 10 minutes' time for the second half. Back here for the second half here at Macedonia Park. Still 0-0 between the Stingrays and the Northern Tigers, although the visitors produced a pretty purposeful first half performance with several chances, but unable to find the net. Here's Christopherson for the Stingrays. There's a neat run forwards and she'll get it back. The Northern Tigers right back. Rosie Ewan, who was involved in the first half as we see McMahon take out Poppy Hooks. No signs of any changes that I can see for either side at the break. Carristal, good pass wide. McKenzie, who's a phenomenal switch of play, who usually plays at centre back, the Stingrays at number 3, but has been pushed out to left back for the game. Annabella Keep on the bench. Brianna Edwards with some sharp distribution out to McKenzie. Middleton. Carristal wins out in that one. Christopherson. Nice flick and can carry on forwards here, the winger. Christopherson into the box. And that'll be a corner. Carristal will come across to take this one. Carristal. It's the corner in towards the near post, flicked on by Cooper. Away though for the Tigers. That's a fantastic ball towards Olivia Cartwright. Krasula wide for Rosie Ewan, put behind by Poppy Hooks, a throw in. Here's Bo Burton back with Saffron Grass. Rosie Ewan will get it back and looks to go past Hooks. Christopherson. Martos finds Austin. Hooks, not the best of clearances. It's back with Greta Krasula. Crasula is tackled and Siobhan Edwards finds Middleton. Middleton carries on and back in for Siobhan Edwards. That's put behind though for a corner. Alexia Carastal will come across to take this one. Carastal towards Hooks, who gets her head to it. Pulls for Middleton. Martos back into the danger area. It could fall the way of the hosts, but Mackenzie gets control of it. Mackenzie down the line towards Austin. It's a short pass, and Austin will have a, well, it's turned into a bit of a cross. Here's Lily McMahon. Good feet to move the ball inside. Bo Burton onwards towards Gomez. Burton. Crasula is finding saffron grass, and chance for a ball in from Olivia Cartwright, but it's fallen back the way of the Stingrays. Crasula again. Crasula carries on. Pulled back towards McMahon. It's still there for the Tigers. Middleton battling for the ball, and that'll be a throw-in off Bo Burton. Rosie Ewan. Carastal can come away with it now. Alexia Carastal. Burton finds Mortlock. Saffron Grass mazing her way through. Burton's cross will move over the goal, but offside nonetheless. Alex Mackenzie. Well, it's Poppy Hooks who ended up taking that one. Edwards wins out against Anderson. 1-on-1 with the central defender now. Edwards. And will go behind for the throw-in. Mackenzie will come forwards to take this one. Started the last 8 games for the Stingrays. As I mentioned, mostly playing at centre back. Gomez gets away from Middleton. Free kick goes the way of the Stingrays. Carastal's free kick is a little short. Gomez, lovely work from Gomez to make her way through the middle of the pitch. Has options forwards. McMahon wide for Ewan. Ewan's ball is headed away by Giles. Krasula. He's Cartwright. That's a shot that flies over the bar by, well, from Saffron Grass. Potential activity on that Northern Tigers bench. As I mentioned, Nikola Dominkovic is back in the squad. Certainly capable of making an impact, of course. Found the net earlier on in the year. To see if there's any changes on that front as we get towards the hour mark of this game. Carastal remains down after that challenge and will require some treatment. The Stingrays have a couple of options of their own. Brooklyn Hudson at strike up. Sienna Silvesca, who's been starting recently and scored that fantastic goal against Sydney Olympic a few weeks ago, is another option. Tara Cannon as well. Not looking too positive for Carastal. Will get to her feet, Carastal, but looks as if they will need to make a change. And Sienna Silvesca looks to be that change. Capable of playing in midfield, but also on the right wing. But looks as if for now she will slot into that midfield position alongside Middleton and Cooper, with Christopherson and Austin More out-and-out wingers. Mackenzie. Christopherson. Middleton, but pass for Edwards, who's not had a great deal of service, the Stingray striker tonight. McMahon. Silvestre gets a touch of the ball. That's McMahon's shot that found its way through but lacked the power and the direction to cause Brianna Edwards any issues. Silvestre loses out. Chance for a ball through. It's a nice pass. Edwards gets in just ahead of the Tigers' number 10. Mortlock. Grassola. Here's Saffron Grass. Back with Grass now. Anderson. Direct ball forwards into an awkward area. Brianna Edwards does get onto it. Silvestre is now on the floor. We'll keep playing on here through Mortlock for the Tigers. Mortlock, neat feet. Middleton intercepts it though. Silvestre remains down, and that would be a real disappointment if they needed to make another change, but continuing to be an issue. For Silvestre. Well, it's another injury worry for the Stingrays. Of course, just lost Alexia Carastal only a few minutes ago, and now her replacement, Sienna Silvestre, is also down. Looks as if she will be right to continue. As I mentioned, the Stingray striker Siobhan Edwards hasn't seen a great deal of the ball in this game. Hasn't scored in her last 6 games, although did find the net in round 11 2024 season against the Tigers. Still on 10 goals this season. As we see a ball played in behind. Opportunity to cross this in from Gomez. Nice touch inside. Gomez plays the ball across the box, but it's intercepted. Cooper clears it further. Middleton will leave it for Austin. Austin towards Siobhan Edwards, but that's going to go out. A shot from Gomez that was dipping and, well, initially looked like it could cause some damage, but bounced fortunately into Brianna Edwards' path. Savannah Murray clears that away. Ella Giles gets to it first. Ball for Gomez, but it'll fall back to the midfielder who goes for the ball towards the back post. Edwards launches a throw forwards, only into Grass's path. Mortlock. Oh, he's unable to keep that in. It'll be a goal kick. Tigers substitutes are warming up, and with a little under 25 minutes of regular game time to play, you may start to see those changes. Caitlin Cooper down the line for Siobhan Edwards, who can use a bit of her speed. Gets into the box, goes for a shot. What turns into a cross. Christopherson picks it up. Middleton under pressure. Middleton turns well. That'll run out of room for Kayla Austin. Cartwright's ball to throw. Gomez just stood still with the ball coming over the top. Mackenzie, Giles gets to the ball. It'll be a throw in the way of the Stingrays. Martos down the line. behind, but offside flag regardless of the cross that came in. Not too much action to report in this second half. Tigers have had a couple of chances, but on the whole there hasn't been a great deal of action at either end. Giles plays it towards Christopherson. Middleton to pick it up for Mackenzie. Here's Poppy Hawks. Looks for Saveska. Cooper. Cooper able to push it wide, and here's Martos down the line for Austin. Cartwright. Austin has fought hard to win it back. It'll be a throw-in for the away side. Saveska. For Cooper, here's Austin. Giles wins possession and lofts one forwards. Siobhan Edwards is onto this. It's behind for the corner. Saveska across to take this one. So pieces could be the way to break the deadlock. Saveska's ball is looping and fails to find anyone of note. Anderson. There's a ball that can be played in behind for Mortlock. Middleton can't keep up with Mortlock, who's going to drive into the box now. Mackenzie's to clear away though. The chance will still be on Bo Burton. Burton down the line, and it's play on. Despite the thoughts of a potential offside, Mackenzie clears it somewhat, and Martos further away. Saveska. Austin. Up towards Edwards. Savannah Murray has done very well to deal with that under pressure. Austin. That ball goes away for a throw. Very much contrast to the previous meetings, at least recently, between these teams, of which there were goals flowing. Haven't seen that this evening. Still 0-0 here. Cooper's lost out, ball in behind. Here's Mortlock. Goes for the shot, but it's rolled along the floor. Mackenzie down the line. Great ball to find Christopherson. Christopherson back with Mackenzie now. Mackenzie can't find Middleton. Mortlock. That ball's towards Gomez, who gets the flick on. Giles was aware of it. Move inside from McMahon, but tackled in the end. Mortlock, chance to deliver, chooses to play down the line for Gomez. Gomez for Mortlock, nice run, and that'll run out of play. Offside. Poppy hooks to step up for this free kick and, well, drives that just past Gomez into Martos's feet. Cartwright deals with that. A couple of changes getting ready for the Northern Tigers as we go through. Well, a few minutes ago went through the 75-minute mark. And those changes will be made now. Change as well for the Stingrays getting ready. Charlotte Mortlock is one player who's coming off. For the Stingrays, it's Ella Giles to come off, which is an interesting change. It looks as if maybe a back three system for the Stingrays as Brooklyn Hudson comes on. Mackenzie, Hooks and Martos could form a back three, so they're certainly going for it, the Stingrays. Gomez, space here and a good chance this is for the visitors. First time ball, Alex Mackenzie, who's been so solid at the back, gets a crucial interception. As far as those Northern Tigers changes go, Beth Bernardi is on into midfield. As we see her almost get a header on against Hooks. Back to Bernardi, but that's just going to fall for Brianna Edwards. Another change does appear to be Nikola Dominkovic, so they're also looking like going for this game here, the Tigers. Positive substitutions from both teams. It's a goal kick for the home side. Saffron Grass wins the initial header. Matos. Here's Gomez. Excellent pass forwards, and Kayla Austin has picked up a caution for that challenge. It was, I think, Olivia Cartwright who was motoring down that inside left channel before being tripped by the Stingrays winger. Good position for a shot. Savannah Murray to take it. Two goals this season, joined from NWS Spirit for this season. Will step up for this free kick, drives it into the wall, but it'll stay with the Northern Tigers. Oh, it's given away. Saveska. Edwards can't get a touch to it, but will sprint for this, and it's a good foot race. She could win it. Gets the touch ahead of Rosie Ewan, and it was an excellent run. Great determination. Certainly wasn't favourite to win the foot race given the head start, but managed to get that first touch. Martos will have to get rid of that. Kayla Austin. Middleton. Savannah Murray switches it out. Down the line, Mackenzie. Well, it'll be Edwards, and has she handled that outside the box? And it is given. It did look as if that was the case, and it will be a caution the way of the goalkeeper. Another set piece in a good position, this for the Northern Tigers. There's always going to be a tight one on the line for Brianna Edwards. Chose to pick it up rather than kick it away. Savannah Murray again coming across. 5 minutes to play in regular time. Stepped up the tempo of this game recently. Options to shoot or cross here for Murray. Chooses to cross it in. It's a brilliant ball right into the danger area, but it's been cleared away just about. There's a shot there that has cracked the crossbar. Olivia Cartwright, who found the net against the Stingrays earlier in the season, almost had another decisive impact there. Well, a few scary moments for the hosts, and the Tigers building up that pressure once again. Looks as if Kayla Austin is playing a little bit deeper now to allow for Christopherson and Hudson and Siobhan Edwards to all operate up front. Push wide. Here's Gomez. Gomez. Great switch of play for Rosie Ewan. Misha Anderson. Ball into a good area that Edwards has elected to punch on this occasion. Cooper's touch has almost caused issues, but, well, it's still with the Tigers, though, as McMahon is tackled by Middleton. And that'll be a free kick on Middleton. Matos chooses to play a long ball. Doesn't quite work out. That's an offside, though. From Nikola Dominkovic. Well, it's actually a play on for a foul. Brought back for that free kick. Cooper. Cooper for Christopherson. Christopherson will find Saveska. Rosie Ewan manages to get body in the way of the ball. Off Mackenzie, it'll be a throw-in. Dominkovic and Hooks has made a tackle. Dominkovic, great cross, picks out Gomez right in the middle, but that's glanced wide of the left post. Edwards. Cooper's head up. Is Austin for Cooper. Cooper will hold on to it, has made a couple of important interventions there in midfield over the last few minutes. Mackenzie down the line. In for Cooper. Lovely turn. Great ball. Christopherson down the left. As will be a corner. Caitlin Cooper with a series of important moments there, getting the Stingrays up the field as they get this set piece. Brooklyn Hudson across to take it. Hudson removing the corner flag. Hudson's ball in is a good one, headed away by Anderson, at least somewhat. Out for Middleton. Saffron Grass. Here's Matos. Matos direct into the box. Austin flicks it on. Christopherson given away. Here comes Gomez the other way. Gomez touch around Mackenzie. Christopherson fighting back. Free kick goes against the Stingrays. And it'll be a yellow card for Poppy Hooks for kicking the ball away. Well, just a few discussions from Christopherson there delaying the taking of this free kick. Savannah Murray with another set piece. Her last one was right on the money in terms of placement. Can she repeat the trick here? Ball flicked on by Grass. That's a shot, and Gomez. There was more power to that one, but it was towards Brianna Edwards, who made the save. Caitlin Cooper. Here's Christopherson. Down the line for Siobhan Edwards, who's not going to give up on this one. Wins out Siobhan Edwards against Rosie Ewan. Saveska. Couple of minutes into stoppage time now. Still the game in the balance at 0-0. Christopherson's won that one. And that's a free kick. Misha Anderson to send this one up the field in what could be one of the last chances, although of course that Carristal injury could add to any time we see added on. Rosie Ewan. Good ball towards Gomez. Martos has headed that back to Brianna Edwards. Taylor Austin for Middleton. First time Austin knocks it on. Gomez. Gomez manages to get through a couple of challenges. Driving forwards now is McMahon. McMahon still going. McKenzie clears it away. Austin knocks that out for a throw-in. Despite those more attacking changes for the Stingrays, they've been doing a fair bit of defending. But the prospect of a clean sheet against one of the better, well, the best scorers in this competition would be a somewhat worthy accolade for their efforts. Well, on the cusp here, the Northern Tigers of failing to score in back-to-back games. Grasula coming across to take this corner, a last potential chance this. Ball right into the box. Brianna Edwards couldn't get a touch on it. Christopherson can carry on. Plays it towards Hudson, but that'll be a throw. Gomez. Still with the Tigers as the ball comes in towards no one but Brianna Edwards. Hudson's won that initial header. Under pressure, here's Hudson. And has skewed it wide. Rosie Ewan was caught on the ball, and Brooklyn Hudson on as a substitute and almost snatched a late winner in the 6th minute of added time here. Not sure how much longer of this one there will be. Savannah Murray sends that up the field. Another throw in. Savannah Murray clears it again. Middleton. Here's McKenzie. Wide for Kayla Roston. Chance to get a cross in. Cross has somewhat cleared that, and that'll be full time here. The points are shared 0-0 between the Stingrays and the Northern Tigers. I've been Tim Gibson. Thank you for tuning in.